It's Friday, January 21st, 2022, and Ricky's already tired, and this is the Soapbox. And Chris here. We just got done talking about Peacemaker episode 4 on the Mostly Marvel podcast, which aired just before this. And now we're just here to hang out and chat with Nas for a little while before he goes to bed, because I'm assuming he's going to get tired of us at some point.
Listen, I'm tired already.
And
It's
been a
long week, man.
Heck of a time. And you guys are going to start talking crap about Boba Fett, which
we don't have to. Okay, that's an option for you.
I don't hate the show. I think I want to throw that out there. I like it. I think there's some choices that they're making that are interesting, but I'm giving it the pass knowing that there's no way they were going to satisfy everyone on the level.
Yeah. No, but that's not even a fair argument, because like no way they're going to not satisfy everyone versus no way they're not going to try to satisfy their core audience. Okay?
You're dealing with like a pillar of the Star Wars.
I'm fairly satisfied though.
You know?
But I'm saying like here's my thing. And
this is the dude who sold toys without any fucking backstory. You know?
And then he got a backstory.
And you guys aren't happy.
No, I'm saying he got a backstory all those years ago. And now they're doing things that are not going in line with that. And I think that's what's making a lot of people unhappy. But with that said, I have a simple argument. And it's just like if you don't buy into it, that's fine, whatever. But I'm saying what happened in this episode? He, aside from flashback, which was like 30 minutes of a 48-minute episode, probably I'm being generous. It's probably more like 35 minutes of flashback. But he called together the group of all the Tatooine underlords, sat them at a table, and had a very Godfather moment where it was almost you could almost hear him say, "I'm going to make you an offer he can't refuse." Right. And after all the negotiating was said and done, his proposition was, okay, how about this, guys? Keep doing nothing in exchange for nothing. And that's what they agreed to. And that was like, why did we even need to watch that? That was so
it wasn't
dumb.
For nothing. It was for them to stay neutral.
No, which they already were doing. That's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't
not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily, sure. But I'm saying like he is the worst negotiator ever, man. He's offering them nothing, and then on top of that, when Fennec's like, "Do you think we could trust them?" Were you not in the room? I don't think you have any reason to trust them.
He did offer them something. He offered to get rid of the Pikes from taking over their territory.
Yes, but there's no incentive for them to do one or the other. Is really like they can just they can choose to do whatever they want.
I still think they left without an incentive, but they still made the agreement. So I'm almost guaranteeing that one of them is not going to go towards the agreement, and those are the ones he's going to smoke.
All they said was, "Sure, don't pay us anything, and we'll just do whatever we do." That's basically what happened in that episode.
Well, what they said was they wouldn't side with the Pikes.
Yeah, but that's just what they said, and who cares? Like that wasn't really like there was no contract made. There was no anything other than their word, and we just know that the word of those criminals is not going to mean anything. Like it's just not. It's not.
Well, maybe. I mean, it means something.
Like it means something to a guy who's trying to not be a criminal and be one at the same time.
Well, he understands that though. That's why they're. But he gets it though. That's why he's bringing in the Mando for some muscle. Like I don't think he's stupid. I think he knows that whole meeting was to see like where
bringing in the Mando. What are you talking about?
At the end of that episode, when he's like, "We're going to need more muscle," and then they play the Mando cue.
No, that's because it was lining up with the Mandalorian. That was the Razor's Crest leaving. That's why they did the Mando cue.
He's gonna.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the? Oh, sorry, I got confused. I got confused with the middle of the episode.
No. At the end of the episode, they allude to him calling Mando for help.
Did they?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they played his fucking theme song. You didn't catch that at all?
I didn't catch that.
No, that's like the whole point.
Frank didn't catch it either, and
I don't think they did.
And he's the music guy.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
They
My
absolutely
9-year-old
played
daughter
his.
caught it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I didn't catch that.
Fennec makes the comment of like, we're gonna need more muscle, and then the little whistle plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh man, we shouldn't have spoiled it for you. You guys would have been surprised next week.
We were like, "Oh, Mando's showing up." I don't think.
Unless he's not showing up, and then you guys will be the
if
ones
they
who are
didn't play
surprised.
the music, I would have maybe.
I will absolutely be surprised if he doesn't show up by the end.
But if you play the music, then
helping Boba Fett.
I mean, it doesn't help that it's the same guy doing the music for both shows.
Yeah, but it's his theme. It's not like you don't. I guess you did in the new episode, but you don't play the Duel of the Fates and not expect to watch.
Wait, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you play that like all the time.
You play that a lot. You play that in video games. You play that
when
everywhere.
You're playing the Duel of the Fates. You're like in the films. It's referencing certain things happening in. They played the cue for the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
they're totally bringing the Mandalorian in to help Boba Fett with his Gathering Storm stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Cool. If that happens, I will be happy.
Yeah,
because he is the better Mandalorian. He is. You're the one that brought you're the one that wanted to do this. You are doing this.
I'm glad though we're kind of. I think we're done with the flashbacks.
Yeah.
I think we're done because they've all been time with the back to tank, and they make it a point to say he's done healing.
Yeah.
So unless he gets hurt again,
back to the back. You got to remember some other. In there. You got to remember some other trauma, Mando.
I mean, but would you be opposed to like Mando getting hurt, throwing him in there and seeing some Mando flashbacks?
We're really talking about the Fantasy Island joke that we made the other day.
Yeah,
is that you just do a show called Bacta, and every episode you have a Star Wars character go in the back of the tank.
Yeah,
and you get a cool flashback of their life.
I mean, if you're going to use it for this much, you might as well keep continuing this.
No, if you're going to use it for this much, you screwed up. You screwed up as a storyteller. You leaned on it too heavily.
So just like Eternals,
you don't have to show him in the back of the tank every time. By the way, Frank hasn't seen Eternals, and I'm not even
I don't care. Spoil it. Please spoil it.
I mean, it's all flashback. Half the movie.
No. I don't mind flashback. I mind that the only reason he can ever have a flashback
is the framing device around it.
Is the framing device. Yes, that's what I mean. I don't mind flashbacks at all. Like, I'm just saying, like, if the first time in the back of the tank caused him to remember this point in his life, then the next time he could be looking at a cup of coffee and then remember something else. You know, we talked about this last week in the Soapbox.
It almost feels like there were some weird time constraints, though. Like, I think you could rework the first 4 episodes into 2 episodes, 2 1-hour episodes, and I think it would work a lot better.
I do too,
because the flashback stuff wouldn't be so gratuitous.
Well, I told my buddy who hasn't seen any of it. I said you could skip episode 3 and just watch the recap at the beginning of episode 4 and have everything you need out of that, because episode 3 was so bad.
You could also skip 90% of episode 4 and just remember the Mandalorian.
I would just
episode 4 in my mind was the best episode.
I would just skip 4 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Just skip the first 4 episodes.
That's the easier way
to do
it.
Start fresh at episode 5.
Episode 5 and 6, that's going to be the Boba Fett
What
movie.
What did you like about episode 4?
Okay.
I told you what I didn't like about episode 4.
Flashback?
Aside from the flashback was the let's get you guys to agree to do nothing in exchange for nothing. That's dumb.
That was one aspect of that episode.
That was what he was building up to the entire 4 episodes. Like that's
the other thing I don't like is that the titular character, again, being sidelined in his own show. All of a sudden, Ming-Na Wen has these balls that can survey the entire area, and then they're all like, "Oh, 200 people are in there. Yep, looks pretty heavily guarded." So then they go to the palace, and to the right of the door is a grate. No guard, no camera, no nothing. And they just, let's just go in the grate. Oh, and we're inside now.
I mean, they timed their security. You chop it to that.
Oh,
they make a mention of timing their patrols.
So they watched security for like 20 minutes and then they were ready.
So, you know what hurt me more is that it's a 5-year gap between Return of the Jedi and this show, and we chose to just say that almost 5 of those years was just in the Sarlacc. Is that what we're saying?
No, I didn't get that.
Yeah, because he said all those years in the Sarlacc.
Did he?
He said
yes, he said that. And so I'm like, okay, so you spent a few months with the Tuskens and the rest of it was just being digested. Why did you wake up?
No, he said he was with the Tuskens for years.
Yeah, I thought
he said he was in the Sarlacc for years too.
He might have been, but he also said he was with the Tuskens for years.
But even if he was in the Sarlacc for a couple years, he has Beskar armor, right? Doesn't that save? It's a slow digestion process to begin with.
No, I'm not saying he can't be. I'm saying
armor would have withstood it anyway.
Yeah, I'm not questioning that he survives the Sarlacc. Yeah. I'm saying like, what a dumb use of like, so just a dumb way to like fast forward a few years. It's like, yeah, I spent a few years in there, just like,
no big deal.
No,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a conscious decision to bring him in the Mando season 2, right?
Yeah, to sell Boba Fett toys.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that it's all money. The conscious decision is all money. He
still served his purpose, and he still was the same character that he was in the original trilogy in the Boba Fett show. I mean, in the Mando show.
Yeah.
In Boba Fett, like, once he escaped the Sarlacc, he spun a wheel and then decided to get a new personality based on whatever the wheel results were.
Well, you know, after an ayahuasca trip, you come out a different person. So
the ayahuasca trip came way after. He was living there for a while before they did that. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like. I think for me, I've complained before. The hardest thing about this show for me is that Tamora Morrison is not a good actor. And like, I think this character could have been sold by a stronger actor, but they so desperately wanted it to be the guy that we remember as the face of all the clones because that's what it should look like.
That's
right?
what they painted the hole they painted themselves in, right? Like,
they didn't have to. Like it. Like he could have taken enough damage from the Sarlacc pit to just have a different actor, and they could have also. Yeah, and they could have also just never given him insane access to a Bacta tank.
It's just him and Nicolas Cage on the table, and they swap faces.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the rumors that Han Solo is going to show up in the show at some point, right?
At this point, are you arguing in favor of keeping Tamora Morrison?
Would you want it to be Harrison Ford or whatever the new guy's Solo is? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Here's my point, Ricky, that I've been making for like in our private chats for a while now. They're not making this universe bigger. They keep contracting it. They keep making it smaller and smaller. You posted that article the other day about like, please stop with Tatooine altogether. Tatooine is forgettable. I disagree. I don't think that Tatooine is the problem. I think that they're not choosing to tell interesting stories on Tatooine. I want to see Tatooine blown up into a bigger thing that's more interesting
blown up,
character.
Damn. By the new Star Killer base.
More interesting character stories. More like let's get away from characters that we already know.
No, I 100% agree. That's why Mando works.
Exactly.
You get away from the Skywalkers. You get away from.
That's why season 1 of Mando worked.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Mando decided to just like bring it all back together, make it small again. And that's the weird part about season 2 about Mando, especially with
the backdoor pilot season for everything.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yeah. That was.
Did you see Mary Elizabeth?
I feel like what about Mando season 2 made it small again? The fact that Luke showed up?
No, the fact that Bo-Katan showed up, the fact that Ahsoka Tano showed up, the fact that Luke showed up, the fact that I'm trying to remember
the Dark Saber.
The Dark Saber showed up. The fact that the Dark Trooper
was going to show up.
Oh, Dark Trooper, yeah.
The Dark Saber was at the end of the first season, actually. My bad.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
but
the fact
still,
that
that was
Boba,
as a stinger.
the
but
fact
they
that Boba Fett shows up, you know what I mean?
But they leaned into the Darksaber in season 2. Like they showed it, and they could have showed it and then not have given any context. But then they gave it like hella context.
Did I list enough examples, Nas?
Well, yeah, you listed plenty of examples, but I'm not sure how that makes the universe smaller. You're dealing with a Mandalorian civil war. You were already dealing with the Force. Of course, the only person
you're dealing with it. He's not dealing with it. That's not a problem he's dealing with.
Of course he is.
Do you know what I mean?
He dealt with it. He's dealing with it at the end. It's something that he's going to have to deal with.
Well, yeah, because that's what the direction they chose to go with the story. But I'm saying, like, I was fine with him living his own life and being like not knowing that there's a whole other way of life besides this is the way. I was fine with that for now because it was fun. It was he was being gaslit, you know what I mean? So I'm fine with him eventually figuring it out, but we just like everything got accelerated. You know what I mean?
I think it gets weird in a galaxy that all the main characters end up knowing each other. I think
Exactly. Yeah. Like I didn't need him to ever meet Ahsoka Tano or Bo-Katan. I didn't need him to meet. He's probably going to meet Mace Windu next season. You know, he's going to.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
He's going to meet everybody. You know what I mean? I didn't need him to meet Luke. I didn't need him to meet Boba Fett. You know, like it's
I think
just, it's smaller. It's
there's
smaller
ways where it works.
Smaller.
Like I'd be super stoked if the big bad and Boba Fett turns out to be the Crimson Dawn from Solo. That'd be a kind of a neat way to loop it in. And then they're a crime syndicate who's looking for power, and they work with the Pikes. So
it'd be a neat way to shrink the universe some more. Yeah,
but that's because it's already
keep it small. Keep the universe
but
small.
that's already canon, and that already exists in Dave Filoni's universe. So
what
it's not
was
it's not surprising if he does that.
Shizor, Prince Shizor. Do you guys remember that guy?
Shishor
by the seashells.
Shizor. Yeah.
What's that guy's organization? Red Sun or Yellow Sun?
Wax Sun.
Wax on, wax off. I don't remember. But whatever. Like they should use his organization. They should really draw more from the expanded universe because that's like
just make new characters, man.
Or make new characters, yeah. But I mean, they're creatively bankrupt, so I would just want them to just go from the expanded universe. I think that's the next best thing because I know they can't come up with anything new or exciting or interesting.
But that's not even fair because like Jon Favreau did do that in season 1 of Mando. He tried,
but I think he's hitting a lot more studio involvement here.
Yeah,
I think he's getting Iron Man 2.
Well, yeah, you don't, like I said, you don't play with Boba Fett. Like again, that's a pillar of that franchise. Like I'm sure a lot of hands went into.
I'm talking about season 2 of Mando. I'm not even talking about Boba Fett. I'm saying like that's what Frank's saying is season 2 of Boba Fett is season 2 of Mando is Iron Man.
I keep saying Boba Fett here and there, and sometimes I mean Mando, and the other way around. So I'm dumb. So I'm just gonna go with that. Oh yeah, calling him a Mando, isn't that the Mandalorian N-word?
Yeah,
I like how Boba Fett always refers to the Tuskens as Tuskens and not Sand people.
That's racist.
Yeah,
Sand people is more appropriate than Tuskens. Tuskens is a derogative of Tusken Raider, which is the one tribe that raided Fort Tusken. So now everyone on Tatooine calls them Tuskens. That doesn't make any sense. That's like calling every tribe of American Indians. The one that raided
the one that raided that time.
The one that raided the one town, Jamestown Raiders. Oh, it's the Jamestown Raiders. No, we're Iroquois. No, you're the Jamestown Raiders.
Yeah.
Hey, the Jamestowns have rights,
Hey,
They're
you guys heard about Christianity?
Have you heard about Christianity?
You guys heard about Christianity? Here's some blankets.
I also did. I don't love that we needed to get a new Rancor replacement in there too. Like that's and I was just waiting for them to say it was Moochie from the Clone Wars, but they haven't said that yet. They haven't.
I've read a lot about that.
I haven't even gotten smaller. Give me a new Rancor.
Yeah, for reals, or a different animal. That's a crazy thought. Instead of a Rancor, put something else in there. You know what I mean? Like it's they just want it like
Rancor I feel like he's a responsible pet owner.
I made the joke when I was watching that it's like, man, I feel like Hasbro should have waited a few months to do their Rancor HasLab, because like if people would have known that the status quo would be reset 5 years after Return of the Jedi, they probably would have been more inclined to buy a Rancor all over again, because they could just say it's that one instead of the other one. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Whatever. But they blew it. They couldn't wait. They wanted to get that HasLab done. I don't know.
I like that name though.
Moochie, yeah. Speaking of toys, if you want, Nas, we can talk about other stuff instead of this.
Oh, I'm fine with whatever.
Well, I did want to talk about.
Can we talk about how he forgot that the Ewoks or the Jawas stole his armor?
Yeah,
that he crawled out of Sarlacc.
He got the ship. He was dazed and confused.
Oh, okay, but he didn't know that he crawled out with his armor.
I guess not.
Okay, he used his armor to get out. How could he not know that? Did he think it just fell off and just rolled back into the pit like Bill and Ted?
Again, after an ayahuasca trip, Frank, you open some doors and you close others. So
this show makes me feel like I'm on the ayahuasca trip.
I think the hardest part about making these debates with Ricky is just when he decides a thing is true, there's just he's got nothing. He's got nothing to defend it, but he'll just keep saying the same thing over and over.
Oh well.
But what about when he James Cameron?
No, but I mean, he's going to use the ayahuasca trip to defend every single decision. that was creatively wrong in this story. You know what I mean?
Like he went into the Sarlacc like the Titanic with he just went in with the flashlight and Scooby Dooed around in the Sarlacc and poked around in there.
You got the beak. They brought the beak back.
He brought the beak back.
Well, the beak is canon. It's at the theme park. You can't not have the beak anymore.
Is it at the theme park?
Do they have a
pit?
They have a model. You can see
it's a baby
slice. Yeah, a slice model of the entire thing.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, and also, can we talk about how no one died on Jabba's sail barge?
I know, right? And how they left all that junk there. The Jawas got the armor, but they left the sail barge there for how many years?
Yeah, all that ripe junk, and it wasn't covered up in sand. We've seen sandstorms come through there. Was there no sandstorms in all those years?
They just needed you to know what that place was like from that time that you remember. You know, like that member berries.
They have Jawas coming over, and they kind of dust it from time to time.
Jabba had an agreement. They knew not to fuck with Jabba shit.
Yeah.
I think Jabba's going to show up at the end, and he's all like, "I'm training these twins to be a crime lord."
Yeah, I don't know, but I am ready to be super hypocritical.
Do it.
I'm ready to do it because today Hasbro did their GI Joe panel, and normally I don't really watch those like religiously, but I sometimes I watch them to like let Nas know because I know I already knew. I'm glad you were able to be honest and answer that question earlier today about what the content you nerd out most on, but I knew your answer a mile away, and that's fine. That's fine. I know how much you love GI Joe, and I think it's cool. And I know how much you love collecting GI Joe. So sometimes I watch those panels, and then I just get excited, and I text you and tell you about them in case you missed them or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I like that. I appreciate it.
The funniest thing about that panel was they've only been doing the classified line for 2 years now. Which is that launch of 6-inch figures that are in scale with Marvel Legends and Star Wars and Power Rangers, all the other properties. And
1 second, Dennis. Sorry, I just heard the scene, and that's totally Mando's theme. I don't know how I missed it, but it's all like the do 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 do.
I missed it too. It too.
Okay, sorry.
But see, here's the 6-inch classified figures, and they're just they take your old memories of GI Joes. And they just go super detailed with them and make them bigger, right? But they did in their first year of that toy line, they took some liberties with some of the character designs. They tried to do something new. I know Nas liked that. He thought it was cool.
I liked it in part. Yeah.
Okay. I hated it.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked it in part.
I hated it, and I know I'm being hypocritical because I just sat here and criticized Boba Fett forever for not doing something different, and then I was actively mad at GI Joe for not doing the thing that everybody wants. But I think the reason I was mad at GI Joe is because we never gotten them at that scale, and I just wanted to know what they would look like at that scale, right? But today in the panel, They basically said, well, we've been doing this 2 years, and now we're doing retro line, and now we're going to make everything look exactly like the cartoon. And that cracked me up because like they're even repainting Destro to have the eyebrows on his helmet the way he did in the old cartoon. And that cracks me up so hard.
Well, the Destro of the original line, because he was part of the original 5 that came out, he was probably the most, well, he and Snake the club exclusive Snake Eyes were, to my mind, the most faithful of any of the old figures, right?
And the soldiers. Oh, but yeah, in the new wave, right?
In the from Zero, right? Those were the most faithful because I felt like Scarlet wasn't, she was a new take. Duke had like a bunch of electronic stuff and laser guns, and the original Roadblock was like second tier Roadblock that wasn't that good. But where's I going with this? I don't know. But this new Destro, the new ones that they're coloring old style. So this guy I like. Stalker I like the Crimson Twins, awesome. And they're slightly new takes, but pretty faithful. But the Baroness is the same that everyone got. Yeah, this Destro with eyebrows like
Frank. Frank, you didn't watch this show, did you?
God,
what are we talking about?
So
G.I. Joe.
No, not really. I had a couple figures. I had a guy named Worms that had a vehicle, and there was this fighter pilot that had orange pants, and all the other toys that I had would pick on him because he chose to wear orange pants.
Does this image do anything for you at all?
They're good looking Destro.
I mean, I would probably wear that to Club Sabat, or like, I don't know, when I go to gay bars with my cousin.
What about this?
I might wear something like that. She's pretty hot. She's the chick from Orange is the New Black, right? The one that was on
the one that dates Piper, right?
Yeah, the one that dates Piper.
I don't know. What is your problem with this Baroness, Nas?
Just I don't need her because I have the other one.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
She looks,
but
exactly
I think like
the same. But
if you had the choice between buying the one with the bike and this one for the first time,
the bike,
really?
Yeah, it's the exact same mold.
What about? I know it is. What about this guy?
That one I would buy over the one they gave us. This is way better.
That's sick. Susie,
like Gung Ho
sandwiches.
Yeah, that's Gung Ho. Yeah.
Oh, that's his name. That's funny.
Yeah.
What about Zaymot?
Yeah,
these guys look good.
They're not even trying anymore to make them look modernized. This is 100% their costume from
100%. Yeah,
100%.
I like his fanged cod piece.
That's cool though. You could do like because it's still under the classified line though, right?
Yeah, this one's under the classified line for sure. Yeah,
that's a cool way just to have two pillars of it.
There's his brother. Tomax and Zaymot. You get both of them.
Like,
I actually do like that they flipped the parts.
Yeah.
So you got like the knife sheath is on this leg, and
you get these guys before you get any Crimson Guards, though.
I know, that's pretty funny.
Is one a lefty and one a righty? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Well, they're twins, and they have that stupid mechanic where like if one gets punched, the other one feels it and stuff like that.
Like Cheech and Chong, like the Corsican brothers.
Like the Corsican brothers, exactly.
Excellent.
I think Stalker is a really badass looking military figure.
Big time.
It's pretty cool.
I think he just looks awesome, and he doesn't even have to be in a G.I. Joe like setting. He just looks like a soldier.
But he looks modernized, like with that the neck piece and whatever. But you take that off, and I think he'd probably look pretty close to classic Stalker.
Yeah, and so I think that's kind of the thing that I think that's the sweet spot that I realized.
Yeah,
is I want like I don't mind this update to her, like Lady J, whatever, it's fine. The other one was fine too, but I think I want nostalgia for Cobra, but I want realism for G.I. Joe.
That's funny.
And I think the reason is because Cobra is the furthest thing from realistic ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's soldiers dressed like this.
Yeah.
That's not real. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with them looking this way because they look cool.
They look like
thigh-high boots aren't
like
practical in a soldier.
What are these goggles on top of this helmet, dude? Like that doesn't even work.
It's to protect from sand.
The one thing I like about the classified line as a somewhat of a Nerf collector, some of the guns that they use are actual like Nerf guns, like little 3D Nerf guns scaled down. It's kind of cool.
The one, what was his Beachhead had like a total Nerf gun. It was ridiculous.
Oh, he also has like a plastic green crossbow. It like all of that was the thing that cracked me up about the line is like they still you know how like little figures back in the day you'd buy them and the weapons would be molded in the exact same color plastic that the figure was, and you just accepted it because you're like, oh yeah, they're not going to paint that. I assumed at a 6-inch line you would like paint some silver on some guns or something.
So did everybody. So I feel like they came around to that finally. Like they're not making laser guns except maybe for the Cobras. Like all the newer GI Joes have actual machine guns or some real world equivalent similar, which is way better.
But I think I know the reason for my hypocrisy, aside from the fact that I'm saying like make Cobras legit the way they were 80s and make GI Joes look modernized. I think the difference is like if this is something I'm buying for myself for my own personal entertainment, I want it to be a certain way. Sure. But like if it's a TV show like Boba Fett that I'm consuming and I'm sitting with my wife, I want it to be something that entertains both of us. You know what I mean? Like, and that's, oh man, if you think I'm bad, the hate she has for that show right now is just epic. Like when we watched the newest episode on Wednesday, when we were done, she's like, I'm bored and I'm mad now. That was her response.
I mean, what will it take for you not to watch the show though? Like, are you going to finish the show?
How can I not? Because like I've already invested, 3 hours of my life into it. Like I'm not going to
invest the other 3.
Like, no, but Ricky's asking what it would take for you to not invest the other 3.
Yeah.
What's the thing that Boba Fett drops in the next episode that you're like, nah, I'm done?
Well, I think if we see another episode of Back Tank and Underwear, I think that would be the line. Like for me,
that's the line.
We've done 4, and I just don't think I give a shit if he does it one more time.
What if there's Back to Tank but no underwear?
Oh yeah, I'm in.
Yeah.
But no underwear. Like that's what I'm saying. Like why have we had to see that man in his underwear 4 times?
He worked out. You got to show it off.
I don't give a crap. He's got to be proud. Guess how much we ever saw how much Boba Fett worked out back in the day?
10 times. No, I'm 10 times. I don't know. I'm just speaking.
You're wrong.
You know what I mean? Just like I don't need that. I don't need that. Wait, you need that, Nas? Do you need him in his underwear every episode?
Yes, he does.
No, I'm saying of course I do. No.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't. No. I don't need it, but I didn't hate it. I'm not ashamed of it.
Check out
it's not that I'm ashamed or afraid of it. It's that I'm just bored by it and I'm annoyed that we keep getting it. Like that's like of all the things that we're gonna see in the Star Wars universe, that's the thing you choose to keep doing. You know what I mean? Like there's so much more of that universe I want to see besides Tamura Morrison in his wet underwear every episode, dude. Like it's just
that plays well with women from ages 30 to 50. Actually, that demographic. They're trying to be all inclusive, and no, actually, I hated when Black Chewbacca went in there and tried to kill Boba Fett but couldn't, and then the Gen Z Rangers came in. And
I hated that too. That whole episode was total garbage.
Yeah. Like he literally cracked his back. Like you heard bones cracking.
Yeah.
And then Boba
Fett
been dead. Back in the tank I go.
Yeah.
But so Boba Fett continued the trend of hiring the guy that's trying to kill him. Like he hired the Gen Z Rangers. He hires Black Chewbacca.
And the way that guy ran off like a dork at the end of that episode,
I was expecting him to hire the Sarlacc.
You can't walk off.
He just hires whoever tries to kill him.
You could walk off and look like a pimp. You could. You don't have to do the actual Bigfoot walk across.
He ran off like he looked like the Hamburglar, like just running off. Rubble. Like
he really did, dude. He did.
I'm hating on Chrysanthemum.
When check out this, I wanted to show you guys Tamora Morrison's delivery.
Why not? Because they went from us being excited about Chrysanthemum, and then like 2 episodes later, that space ape is stupid. Like that just
space ape.
Wow,
yeah.
That's racist.
That's what Travis calls Wookiees. He calls them space apes.
He says after everything.
I can't hear it.
I can't hear it, Frank.
Oh shit. No, I thought you could hear it.
You didn't share audio.
How do I share audio? Can I do it now?
You were supposed to do it earlier.
You're gonna get this show demonetized, Frank.
No, we're good. We're good. Share screen.
It's okay. We believe you, Frank. Just like now, like I believe that the Mando music was there. And oh man, if Mando doesn't show up, that would be hilarious.
I'm gonna be pissed. No, there's no audio thing. Okay, well, it's fine. You guys believe me. It's whatever.
I mean,
that would be hilarious. What if they call him and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm a wreck. My kid just got taken by some random goober with a lightsaber, and I need some time to myself.
So a random goober with a lightsaber? Was it a green lightsaber? He's gonna be like, yeah.
It was a green lightsaber.
I know that bitch.
That's how stupid it is. If he goes from meeting Luke, then going back to meet Boba Fett, like, that's dumb.
The guy kicked your ass.
I know that guy. I killed him and threw him in the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
I took his lightsaber too. I don't know how he lived. You should kill him.
Anyways, what are you watching? Anything else that's entertaining you right now, Nas?
My Hero Academia with my daughter is pretty fun with that anime.
I have watched a little of that, and it was cool.
It's fun and just real heroic, and just a kind of a cool take on the superhero genre from an obviously different perspective.
Yeah.
Very, obviously very Japanese, but not so much. Like, what I like about it is, while I recognize some tropes, I don't feel like my 9-year-old can watch it with me, and it's not super gross or just like running into some of that really weird, stuff. And I don't even want to say really weird, just stuff that's like super, super cringy. There's a few things in the anime, realm when you're dealing with the teenagers that just feel super cringy, but this feels pretty fun and heroic and has cool stories. And that's a pretty good show, man. I'm enjoying watching that one. So, nice. But I'm not really watching anything, any other type shows except now Peacemaker. Nobody just came on HBO Max. I want to watch that film with
with Bob Odenkirk. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of the clips.
Yeah, that's a great one.
It's like a John Wick type movie, right? But with Bob Odenkirk. Yeah, okay.
So I'll probably watch that.
Cool.
That movie Last Duel just came on.
That came out.
Which I heard is really, really good, and it just got COVIDed, in the
Ridley Scott.
What does that mean? What does COVIDed mean?
I didn't know that it was written by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Didn't get a lot of people were afraid to go to the theater when it came out at the same time, and it wasn't getting enough promotion, and so I think there wasn't enough draw. Like, it wasn't familiar enough for anybody to take a risk.
Yeah. It came out during like the Eternals, I think.
Maybe
that window, and it just people weren't seeing movies, and
people only wanted to see Marvel last year, man. That's
and right, because if you're gonna take the risk to go to the theater, you're gonna hedge your bets on something that you hope is worth it. And I think Last Duel, while it was probably really good, everyone who saw it thought it was great. People didn't. That wasn't a bet they were willing to take.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching that one because I didn't go either, but I've heard from people who've seen it that it's really good. And
getting his Aliens show next year, right?
What's that?
They're doing an Aliens. I believe it's a Hulu show.
I don't
it
like
would have
anything
to
Ridley
be Hulu.
Scott has done with the Aliens universe since Alien.
You know,
Thank
like
you.
Prometheus?
Thank
No,
you.
that
not a
movie's
Prometheus
garbage.
fan.
Thank you.
We can not talk about it.
Wait, can you repeat that to Ricky? I don't think he heard that.
Yeah, what'd you say? We didn't hear you.
Prometheus is hot garbage.
Thank
But
you.
you like Alien Covenant though, right?
No.
Who didn't like Alien Covenant?
Prometheus is hot garbage. Thank you, Nas.
It is terrible.
Look at him nodding in disagreement with you. But he won't actually give you a plausible defense for why that movie
cool
is
movie.
good.
There
it is. There it is.
It's a cool movie.
Yeah.
No, actually, I liked some of the concepts. Like there
Yeah.
were a few things in it that I think they could have expanded on if done correctly. But
Concept
looked
versus
great.
execution is a totally
no,
different
I know.
thing.
Yeah, it looks good.
And that's how I was going to follow that sentence up with, more or less. But you said it way more eloquently than I could.
Yeah.
I think it has a good cast.
Yeah, I think it's well cast.
It's fine, but everybody in that film, everybody is the stupidest person ever.
Yeah.
I'll agree.
Huh?
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but it's a cool movie.
It's cool. Still a cool movie.
But there's nothing cool about people going to space.
It's cool
Like
watching
on
them
a
die.
research mission. They're like, hey, we're going to find out the secrets of the universe. Let's get all the stupid people.
I would love to find another movie, and I will gladly take suggestions that deal with the themes that movie dealt with. Or
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Meeting your creators.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yep.
Any others?
Oh my God.
I'll gladly take one if it's not that one.
Contact.
Yeah. Contact.
Okay. Like lenses?
Like, you don't understand how easy this is to like
that's all. Like, I don't know
One more.
if you've ever seen a sci-fi film.
one more.
The Thing.
I've seen The Thing.
I don't know if
think
the
the
thing
thing's
quite
similar.
fits.
I don't know
good,
what
but
we're
yeah,
going for. I thought we were just doing alien
good.
movies.
Okay,
Killer
yeah.
Clowns from Outer Space.
That's a good
another
movie too.
alien movie.
They had before COVID, they had a Universal haunted house with the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed those. I missed when they had the different houses there. I did the Walking Dead one. That
They
was
still
fun.
do it.
Do all the monsters wear like COVID masks over their masks?
Actually, so yes, I didn't
They
go.
do.
I saw how they did it. They can't touch you. Like they're very much like in a designated like box when they scare you. It's pretty hilarious. But yes, they do have masks.
You guys ever watch the Carpetbagger on YouTube? He goes to all of those like fun houses and amusement parks all over the country. And last Halloween, they at the Florida Universal had a lot of their stuff open, and yeah, everybody was masked, so they're wearing masks either over or under their masks. So it was kind of a trip, but they did it. They did it up as best they could.
Yeah.
It was kind of still pretty fun, crazy.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see like a Halloween or a horror movie where they wear like actual COVID masks over their stuff. I feel like a lot of movies tend to kind of sweep that under the rug and just have
Yeah, I
their
haven't really
characters
seen
interact.
any media acknowledge the pandemic as it's a thing that's happened or happening.
Yeah. Even movies on Pornhub sometimes have people engaging with their masks in the beginning.
I wonder what's like a too soon situation. Like.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Arrival's another pretty good one.
The Arrival or Rival?
Oh, sorry, Arrival. The Arrival with Charlie Sheen is also really good too.
Are we talking about the Orville?
I like Arrival.
The Orville
Arrival's
by Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
that's not really
it's
meeting your creator, but it's
not meeting your creator. You don't know that they're not.
Oh, wait. Was that the
very
stipulation in the
heady
conversation?
film though, right?
Yeah,
I love that movie.
That's a great
Arrival's
movie too.
great.
Yeah. Another good one is Passengers. No, it's not. I'm just kidding.
Passenger 57.
No.
I want to watch Rival again. That's because it's not really an alien. I'll say it's something stupid. It's not. It's the themes of that movie are beyond like sci-fi. It's more about me being content with knowing the outcome.
I love when he tries to censor himself from saying something stupid.
Yeah, no, but Arrival's cool. I really liked Arrival.
Yeah,
that's what got him the Blade Runner job.
What about Tron Legacy? Does that count as meeting your maker?
Oh, you want to talk about Tron, dude? I can talk about Tron all day.
Did you like that better than the original? I don't remember. I know you liked it.
But you know why? Like that movie really came out at a very special time for me because like I am a huge Daft Punk fan. I've ginormous, and you know, when that movie came out, I had just moved to California, and I immediately got a Disney pass. So I was going to Disneyland very often, and you know, my love of Tron kind of stems from the original. I really liked the original movie as well. It kind of got me interested in computers and whatnots. So when Legacy came out, you had one of my favorite movies at the time melding with Daft Punk. And then I can go to a place in California that would have like, they did like a Tron party for like a year every night there. So I would have like this Daft Punk Tron party. It was like the coolest, you know, couple months of my life, like where every piece of media just came together to make this baby. And of course that movie has problems for sure, but for me it just hit a lot of the right notes at the right time.
That's cool. Which is better? Which of the two films is better?
I think the second one is better. I like the first one a lot, but it is a slow movie. Like it is a slow movie. And you know, I would probably say I contributed to me watching it, obviously, you know, at home and being exposed to digital effects of my era before seeing or after seeing that movie. So it's like I can imagine at the time is really significant and having your mind blowing and seeing that, but on a rewatch, it's definitely
it's rough.
It's a bit rough. Versus Legacy. Legacy is a beautiful movie.
I still like the first movie on rewatch compared to Legacy.
I like it too. I think the first movie has a better story.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, it's very interesting. They have very different worldviews because, you know, the first Tron has this undercurrent of, you know, they're looking at, you know, you're talking about meeting your creator. They talk about the users like they are the creators of their, you know, their grid, you know, and everything. And it's kind of fascinating to me that the second film does this thing because he talks about how he created the grid and he uses language of he very specifically references when the quarks came about. All he says is something happened and then life sprang up in the grid that I didn't make.
The ISIS.
Yeah. And so it's very interesting because at the time when that came out, that was a lot of the when people are looking at like the evolutionary theory, a lot of the people who are defending that, you know, right or wrong, were saying, well, something happened and life happened, and we don't know what that was. So they were using like that exact same thing and kind of bypassing that very much more creator-centric worldview that was in the original Tron. And it was more subtle. You know, it's subtle. But then in Tron Legacy, it was like we didn't really make life. Like just something spontaneously happened and we don't know what. You know? And it's interesting.
I think that is what probably annoyed me about it, because it removed the legacy from the story. You know what I mean? Like it removed the entire legacy and just is like, you know, we're gonna just remember the aesthetic.
Right.
I think a lot of it was that. Yeah.
Yeah. It very much changed like the like I said, the worldview, the back end of what the whole thing was, they changed. Now, I did think, did you guys see Matrix? The new Matrix?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to get into whether or not it met any expectations, but I do want to say it had some there were some ideas that I liked that were presented in that.
The first 40 minutes was good.
Yeah, that was great.
What's that?
The first 40 minutes of that movie was entertaining.
Yeah, it was
the ideas presented there
because it was full of promise. It was full of promise in the first 40.
We were young.
Yeah, and I really liked the how when they had come to peace with some of the programs found a way to enter into our world with those the tech, and like they were helping the humans in their reality. They were like almost going into their alternate reality by going into the human world.
Right,
I thought that was kind of neat, and they kind of played with that in Tron, but never. You're like, how did Korra become flesh and blood? It was like, whatever. We'll explore that in the next film. But I liked how they did it in Matrix way better than.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Anyway, and those movies are so very similar, like with very similar ideas, but just approach some of the.
Hopefully, Jared Leto's Tron movie that's happening at some point.
Wait, he's making one?
No, he's attached to star in it.
Oh no, he's gonna star in it?
Yeah, because the sequel to Legacy got canceled after John Carter bombed. Like John Carter fucked up a lot of shit.
Because Disney was like, "Oh man, we can't do another bad movie
ever again."
Basically,
we did two bad movies in a row, so let's not do that again.
Well, Tron made money, but
it doesn't mean it was good.
Money.
Yeah, it
doesn't mean it was good.
Yeah, but Disney doesn't care about good. They care about money.
That's true.
Yeah, I
know. So hopefully whatever the Tron thing that is supposed to happen happens.
Also, John Carter. Okay, I'm in the minority here. I really like John Carter.
Actually, I never seen it.
I didn't hate
it either.
Yeah.
I think the thing that made me mad about that movie was how much Planet Hulk just totally ripped off that story.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I never knew that until I watched John Carter.
Isn't William Dafoe in that movie?
Willem Dafoe.
Oh, his cousin William Dafoe is actually
William Dafoe. Have you ever seen him say his name that
Dafoe,
way?
Right?
There's an old Conan O'Brien clip, and he goes, "I am William Dafoe," and they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh man.
He's like, "I was a confused kid. I don't know what to tell you."
He's a Spider-Man.
You're a moose, Spider-Man.
That's funny. No,
but also the reason Tron, they didn't do anything with Tron. I mean, you can chalk it up to the bomb of John Carter, but also they had just bought Star Wars, and they're like, "Oh, we have the sci-fi franchise in the bag. We don't need any other sci-fi. We don't need to compete with ourselves. We have Star Wars and Marvel." So they're like, "We don't need original IP," which is terrible, but.
I feel like calling Star Wars sci-fi is kind of like a fundamental not understanding of what Star Wars is.
It's fantasy,
but that's probably what.
But in line with what Disney's,
If I'm a movie theater owner and I have to categorize Star Wars into a genre, it's going sci-fi.
So if you're calling it a movie, if you're calling it movie theater owner, that's like the lowest bar.
If I'm John Q, if I'm the night manager at my local AMC,
I'm Mr. AMC, and I gotta categorize my movies for the newspaper.
In general, they put for Star Wars, they call it sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah,
yeah,
but really, it's just straight fantasy.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
except for the part that it took place a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I mean, that's fantasy too, right? Like. Once upon a time.
Fiction. No. Well, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I guess so.
There's no science in Star Wars.
There's
this whole planet's a desert. This whole planet's a forest. This whole planet's an island.
But we did get to learn that planet used to be covered in water.
Yeah, but that was cool. All of it.
Actually, I did like that. I was like,
that was the only time I was like, whoa, I like that. What's that?
Let's fucking jump in your back to tank and let's see that shit.
Well, did Tatooine always have 3 moons? That was another little thing from this episode.
Yeah, did it have 3 moons?
It has 2
moons.
Just
like a reflection.
It had 3 moons.
Sorry, it has 2 suns. It has 2 suns.
2 suns, but
2 suns.
I thought it had 2 moons. That maybe
3 moons. 1 back to tank.
And 27 flashbacks.
I don't remember the moon count. I don't, but the suns is 2.
At the very least, I'm happy with the wildlife on Tatooine. It's not as barren.
You have the hottest takes
as the movies made it out to be. There's creatures that live out there.
Okay, I would like to just point of contention. How did the movies? How did the movies not make it out to be like a populated wildlife? There's a giant freaking skeleton in the first scene.
It's a crate dragon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they never acknowledge what that is. You just think a fossil. It's just fossils.
It's not a fossil. Fossils are not at the surface of the ground.
I chalk it up. You ever watch Lion King when they go to the mammoth thing and all those dead mammoths? Like, yeah.
How long ago do you think those mammoths died? 500 years ago, or like probably last week? Last week.
It's a mammoth. I don't know.
No, that's not how sand works.
But it's
you don't have skeletons. It's on the surface of sand, and they've been there forever.
Dennis,
it's not a fossil. It's not a fossil.
It's not sci-fi, bro. It's
it's not sci-fi.
Also,
why don't you chill on your sci-fi?
I never put the two together, but they're just totally ripping off Dune, right? Because Dune came first on Spice.
You're hurting my brain,
right? Or no?
You're hurting my brain right now.
Well, Spice is their shorthand for drugs, like Elim Sleaze Bogano and Attack of the Clones.
But Dune Spice is like a drug too. It's a hallucinogen in Dune, right?
Yeah. Yes, we're not arguing this.
We're
just kind of surprised.
I just never put it together.
Catching up to it right now.
Well, I just watched Dune for the first time.
Spice was referenced in the expanded universe, but I mean, still, it's after Dune, years after Dune.
Copycats, lazy writing.
I don't understand how you. I don't
understand
how you can look at the entire planet of Tatooine, but then blame them for stealing off Dune because of Spice. Like,
why do you have a desert planet?
Okay, let's just back this up to the famous episode that you referenced earlier today. You said, "God, I still remember that awesome episode with Nas where we talked about the Mandalorian." Did you not remember the 50 times he called Tusken Raiders Fremen through the entire episode?
Yeah,
he called them Fremen.
I never put 2 and 2 together from Dune. that was pre-exposure to Dune for me.
He was young and naive.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Get off his back.
I wasn't on the worm train.
I'm saying like everything about Tatooine is completely ripped off of Dune.
Okay, let's just
even the Sarlacc before it
everything.
But to be fair, like the whole, and it is absolutely, and especially that first movie and the first book of Dune, the first story of Dune is very much like, Hero with 1,000 Faces, like very tropey. The hero rises and saves the oppressed people. It's only after the first book of Dune that it starts going off the rails and getting all tragic, whereas like Star Wars tries to stay heroic, and then they kind of go on their own paths. So while you have this very similar Dune-y initial landscape, after the first, they go like this, and Dune ends up becoming this, centuries-long tragedy of like power corruption, which Star Wars is similar, but it's always leaning back towards the heroic side. Anyway.
But in fairness, though, like everything about Star Wars is ripped off of other things.
Yeah, totally.
That's the entire DNA of Star Wars.
Yeah.
And that's why it succeeded, because it doesn't matter that it stole from any one thing. It's that people have such a strong connection to Star Wars that they're willing to overlook all the different things he stole from. And that's when it's called an homage rather than a ripoff. And that's the reality of it. And like, if you've never seen the Hidden Fortress, then you would like watch a Hidden Fortress. That movie is 100% Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm going to come back next episode and be like, hey, Hidden Fortress? Guys, that's Star Wars.
Know better saw John Carter, and they were like, what is this garbage, rip-offy garbage? And it's
of
like
Planet Hulk. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I bought the book, John Carter. I bought John Carter to read it, and I read it in anticipation for the movie. And you
should have just read Planet Hulk.
I probably should have had pictures, easier read.
Mm-hmm.
I like the book. but they're very much a product of their time, which is old.
What came if the guy who wrote John Carter is the same guy who did the Tarzan stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. What
Edgar
came
Rice
first,
Burroughs.
John Carter or Tarzan?
What's that?
What
he
came
was
first?
He was doing them about the same time, and as a matter of fact, they crossed over a couple times. And as a matter of fact, you heard me talking about Doc Savage. Doc Savage was like definitely inspired by Edgar Rice Burroughs, and then Doc Savage ended up inspiring comics, whereas Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff also inspired comics. I mean, obviously, there's so many ripoffs of Tarzan, you know, in and stuff. Anyway, but Burroughs was writing Tarzan and I think John Carter about the same time, I think. And he wrote a lot of each. And they're very, very similar. Very similar. Like both of them are the elite and very smart and can do kind of anything. They're very much Superman, you know.
And very
Superman
white.
actually, okay, so
they
talk about Superman.
John Carter's less
Superman
racist
was
than Tarzan.
a ripoff of John Carter because
John Carter's from he's on the Confederacy, isn't he?
He was, yeah.
He was a Confederate soldier, so you debate which one's less racist than the other.
I mean, Tarzan killed a lot of people.
Hashtag not all Confederates.
Hashtag not all Confederates.
Not all Confederates. Hey, quick question. What if zombies? In what if zombies? Which Avenger was infected first?
Iron Man.
Hank Pym's not an Avenger, though.
Yeah, that's why it's Iron Man.
Oh wait, can you see the fourth one? Can you see the
No,
fourth
I couldn't see the fourth one.
I don't need to. Also, not an Avenger.
I mean, yeah, he is. According to that video,
Scott Lang.
It's Scott Lang.
You already got blood. Yeah, he was the first one that got.
You don't get to say he's not an Avenger, Ricky.
He's not. Has he ever lived at Avengers Campus?
Spider-Man never has either.
This is a question for you. Marvel's MODOK. What Marvel IP was Patton Oswalt not involved?
Oh, this is awkward, Frank, because there's another one that you could have used. You haven't watched the movie yet.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
I was going to list it, but because I hadn't watched it.
Oh. I'm gonna say Big Hero 6.
Yeah.
No.
It's a Fantastic Four?
Trinity?
Yeah, it's Fantastic Four. He was in Big Hero 6, the series.
Oh,
he was a voice.
I've never watched the series. We were actually eyeballing that one as something to watch soon.
Big Hero 6?
Yeah. The by the way, in case Naz is getting tired of hanging out with us, the thing I've been watching aside from these two shows, which are really these two shows are like the only new thing I'm watching every week right now, unless you count like Saturday Night Live whenever it shows up. The only new things I watch a week right now are Peacemaker and Boba Fett. So to fill in the rest of the time, Lindsay and I usually pick a show to just binge, and we decided to finally binge DuckTales, the reboot.
The reboot?
Oh my god, that show is amazing.
It's good.
Really?
Is it good?
It is so good. And
is it good or is it the woke kind of good?
No, it's really good. And woke good doesn't mean bad, by the way.
It doesn't necessarily, but I use it as a shorthand for bad.
I see, and that bugs me that you consider woke to be bad, because I consider
a lot
it to
of
be a good,
because
a good thing.
So I can use like diversity before entertainment as my shorthand for bad, because that is bad.
I think it's just fun. It's DuckTales.
Okay, well here's my thing. Do you care that Gizmo Duck's last name is Latin?
Who cares? No, I don't care. Is the show entertaining? Is the question?
Yes.
But is it entertaining because it has a lot of representation, or is it entertaining because
it's not. It just happens to have a really awesome representation. But like the greatest thing about the show, and I forced myself to watch some of the old ones too. Wow, man, I was really shocked at the characterization of all of them back in the old show, and the difference between how they are now. Like, they chose not to make Scrooge come from a place of like malevolence or greed and stuff. Like, he's actually this character that has lived this awesome life of adventure because of his billions of dollars, because of his wealth. And so like he's not like pinching pennies the same way he does. They do make references to pinching pennies, but like in the old show, he's like late to pick up his nephews because Donald's going off to the Navy, and like he's gonna pick him up at the pier.
Oh, yeah, that's the first episode, right?
And he's super late because he doesn't want to pay for the cab. He doesn't want to spend any money. And it's like, and then he's grumpy when he gets them, and he brings them home and he locks them up in the attic for like weeks, and like it's really gross. And it's like,
that's the humor, though. We're all giggling at that when you say that.
But like the thing is like I remember him being a nicer character, and I kind of assumed that this is the Scrooge McDuck that was already in a Disney's Christmas Carol. So like if he's already learned the lessons from being visited by the three ghosts, then he shouldn't still be a total asshole. You know what I mean? And so
instead they gave you post Flashpoint Scrooge.
But it was
yeah. No, so what's cool about this show, the new one, is they approached it from like the points of like from the point of view of like having like full arcs that actually carry through the whole season. And they do like 3 different types of arcs that are all interwoven. So they do like adventure arcs, they do sci-fi arcs, and they do fantasy arcs. And all 3 of them blend and they all converge at the end of the season. And so you end up with like this really cool thing where you're like, wow, that was a really well thought out story, like way more thought out than you would expect for a cartoon for kids about DuckTales. You know what I mean?
Did you see the old Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Oh, that's my favorite version
the
of
CG
them.
one.
It's
so like good. I always get confused with those. It's the CG one or the buff ones.
It's so good.
CG one.
Well, you've seen I have those toys. I did a figure photo fight one time with those toys.
Oh yeah,
I have them, and they're my favorite versions of the Ninja Turtles.
They're so good.
But I will say this: DuckTales is better than that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really well thought out, and like the voice acting is top notch. David Tennant is Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
and he is amazing. And then they got Katie Micucci as Webby, and then they actually have 3 unique actors not doing a gross duck voice for Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
Why is that gross?
It's hard.
It allows for more characterization, right?
It's and the other cool part about this show,
I don't know why it's gross. The problem that's just how ducks talk. You're being ducksist right now.
No, that's not how
Scrooge the duck talks. Talk like that.
That's not how every duck talks except for Donald.
All right, I'm being a gentleman.
I'm being ducksist.
He spoke King's
English. That's not how duckmen talk.
But the other cool thing about the show is Donald actually is a part of the show.
Oh,
like
cool.
I guess I read that there was actually like an edict like from Disney back in the day that wouldn't allow their main characters, kind of like the way Batman wasn't allowed to be on TV.
Batman.
You know what I mean? They weren't allowing their main characters to be prominent roles in like these other shows. So Donald's pretty much just in the first episode, and then he pieces out and joins the Navy, and then he's never there. But they actually dropped that rule after the success of DuckTales, the original show. And so because of that, he's there all the time on this show. So he actually goes on the adventures with them, and it's really fun because like his voice,
duck voice.
Yes, he has the voice, and it makes it more
voice.
It makes it more fun because everybody else talks normal, and they have problems sometimes understanding what Donald's saying because like
why is that funny? And then the kids not having it is
because one. I thought it was lazy that it's the same actor that plays all 4 of the kids in the old show, and the characterization of them was pretty much the same. So they basically were indistinguishable. You know,
there's scenes.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't ruin it.
I have to.
You don't have to ruin it because you always say this.
He's not going to watch it.
I think he will.
I'm gonna watch it. It's been on my list, especially since they started.
Don't ruin it because you don't even know the context. But what you want to ruin is literally the giant season finale that I just got done setting up.
Now I want to hear what Ricky's saying.
You want to spoil the convergence of all the awesome things.
I don't want to spoil. Frank, do you want me to spoil it or no?
I'm down
what do you mean you don't want to spoil
Frank,
it?
Why are you consenting? If Frank wants to hear a spoiler, he's a grown man. He can make his own decision.
Well, Nas, do you want to hear it?
No.
Okay.
Nas,
wait, I don't know. What are we talking about?
If the room doesn't agree on DuckTales spoilers, then
he wants to spoil the season finale of DuckTales after I just spent this whole time telling you how awesome that show is. And
don't spoil it.
Okay, then I won't spoil it.
Well, I mean, I don't compare awesomeness to it dunking on like the previous iteration of it.
It's not dunking. It's not at all.
Well, you called them gross. You called them gross duck voices.
That's sorry.
Literally what you said.
Well, no, I'm saying like their voices always hurt me to listen to them. The three of them. Like I didn't like listening to them because Webby talked.
And I'm the Duxus now, and I'm
Webby talked normal.
Webby.
That was
Webby talking Darkwing talk normal, Gizmo talk normal.
Everybody talked normal.
They all talk normal, yeah,
and that was weird.
But they're Donald's nephews or Donald's kids. No, they're
not his kids. They're his nephews.
There's nephews.
Yeah,
there's nephews. So they're part of the same bloodline that talks like.
They're all part of the same bloodline. All of them are.
Yeah,
they're all related.
One of them grew up in Scotland, apparently.
Yeah,
I guess.
The other cool thing is that question that you were just kind of on the tip of asking is actually a big plot point of the show. Is where's their mom? Like, and so they have this whole arc where like they're investigating because they've heard tales of how Scrooge and Donald and their mom used to go on adventures back in the day.
Oh, what?
And they don't know who she is, you know what I mean? Like, and so it's really fun because it becomes about these three kids. They have more agency and they have more to do in the show where they're actually like they're experiencing Scrooge through their eyes, you know what I mean? And so like they get to like have these mysteries that they're trying to solve for themselves to answer questions about where they came from.
That's kind of fun. I don't mind characterization.
Yeah, it's really cool.
What who plays Webby? Who'd you say plays Webby?
Katie Micucci.
Katie Micucci.
Is she the weird chick from the Garfunkel and Oates?
Okay. Yeah. That one.
It was funny. Yeah. I went to her art show years ago. It was somewhere in LA. And it was like super weird because I was just there, awkward as hell. And everybody from like Silicon Valley was there. I think they were just like in their first season. And I was just like hanging out with Kumail Nanjiani. And it was just like didn't know what to do. I was awkward I was probably like maybe 18 or 19.
He's all, bro, I'm gonna get Marvel ripped. Check out these guns now.
So it was weird to see people there who I'm like, oh, you're like super famous now.
And that's cool.
She was nice though.
I thought that story was gonna go somewhere.
No. I slept with Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, boy.
Nice. There you go.
There you go. I spiced it up.
I'm gonna put you in a Bollywood movie, son.
But yeah, at a minimum, like Nas, I highly recommend that show. Especially if you like the Nickelodeon Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Because I think this does an even better job of like.
Gotta get your money's worth of that Disney Plus.
It's really great.
I like the idea of the arcs. I like stories, because I like the cartoons and stuff, but I like it when it has some sort of like, reason for telling a story. It can be childish, but if there's something there, that's good.
And then the other added bonus of the show is it's self-aware, so it knows that kids are watching it, and it hopes that kids are watching it with their parents.
Yeah.
So they reference things that only the parents would know.
Right.
Be sure to buy her toys, parents.
No, it's not about toys. It's
kids,
about
we're trapped in plastic. Have your parents buy us.
Let me just say this. They try really hard to reference damn near every other Disney cartoon.
Enter in the 3 codes
at that time.
Gotcha.
Minus maybe Gargoyles. I haven't seen a Gargoyles reference yet.
Oh.
But pretty much every other show that was on your network TV back then that was a Disney show. Minus Aladdin. Aladdin, I guess.
They referenced the old shows that were around DuckTales, like the Disney afternoon show, like Baloo,
Yes.
was Tailspin, and
yes.
That's funny.
And Gummy Bears.
And Gummy Bears.
And Chip and Dale.
Yeah, I love Rescue Rangers. I liked a lot of those shows back then.
And Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, I love Darkwing Duck too. Darkwing Duck's my favorite, man. That's the reason I got Disney Infinity, with the hopes of getting Darkwing Duck, and hundreds of figures later.
Well, the cool thing I will say is that guy is Jim Cummings he still works for Disney.
Is he Darkwing?
He was Darkwing back in the day, and he's still
no. Is he Darkwing on the show? On the show, or did they replace him as Darkwing? No, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
they've been whispering about a Darkwing Duck show for a while.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the context. Like, I don't want to get you like. I say they reference all the things. That's all I want to say. That's they don't it's still DuckTales. The show is DuckTales, and so
that's fine.
But I love it.
But Darkwing showed up in DuckTales, and Gizmo Duck showed up in Darkwing. And stuff.
Darkwing, yeah.
I like Darkwing because aside from Batman, he was the first homosexual hero that I actually kind of came in contact with, and I'm like, this guy's awesome. This guy's freaking great. I see through your little ruse. I know Launchpad's living with you, and I know that there's 2 bedrooms in that house, and one of them is Gosalyn's.
So you never watched Johnny Quest?
I did. Is there homosexuality in Johnny Quest? I was probably too young at that time to identify the homosexuality there. Who's gay in Johnny Quest?
Everybody.
I vaguely remember Johnny Quest.
Bannon and living with Dr. Quest, and where's Dr. Quest? Where's really? Johnny's mom? Who knows?
I didn't know that. That's funny. I gotta.
I mean, it's what you take from it. You know what I mean? But Race and Dr. Quest were always
that was the big joke that they did about them in
Venture Brothers.
Venture Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, in that Johnny Quest. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah, because Johnny Quest actually is a character in Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Like the entire Johnny Quest universe exists in their show.
Yeah.
It's cool. But
did you guys see, before we close out, they added the one-shots on Disney Plus, all of them?
Oh, they added all of them. That's awesome.
They have their own tab, the Marvel one-shots on there.
Those are great.
Remember what those are anymore? What are those?
Sorry, they attached them on the DVDs for the old Marvel movies. They were extra shows that are extra 40-minute or 20-minute movies or mini movies that were expanded on the MCU a little bit more.
Is that there was Hail to the King or whatever? Or,
Hail to the King, and then there's one for Agent Carter.
Oh, okay.
There was one with Wilson Jasper Sitwell and Coulson sitting around at a diner talking about
I think
Hydra
Thor roommate ones are in there too.
Yeah, and then they also did it's pre-Hydra. There's also another one where they did these thieves accidentally steal tech from the Battle of New York, and they don't they become bank robbers with it and stuff. And
that's kind of
Robert Rodriguez tackling the Johnny Quest movie for Warner Brothers.
It's funny that you brought those up because you know who directed this episode of The Mandalorian?
Kevin Tinkeron or whatever.
Tencheroen, yeah. Kevin Tencheroen. He's actually directed several episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But he got famous. In my eyes, he got famous. He was the guy that did those Machinima Mortal Kombat.
Yes. Okay. I knew I recognized his name.
Well, notice we came to life when you said that. That's cool.
I know.
I saw you come to life. I remember those.
He's the guy. He was basically doing those as a giant audition for Warner Brothers to say, "Let me do Mortal Kombat as a show or a movie."
Yeah.
And they never gave it to him, and it sucked. But
here's a cease and desist.
So those were some of his earlier works, and then after that, he started getting directorial roles on a lot of other shows that we watch. He directed episodes of Arrow, The Flash, first Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes were some of the best action I've ever seen. And it's because, no surprise, he's the guy who did, the Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah.
And so he made Ming-Na look so badass in her episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I was shocked when that episode of Boba Fett ended. And I was like, ugh, you directed that? Like, well, that's not even action in that episode, dude. I was like, stay in your lane, bro. Do action.
He did catch a cute little rat catcher robot, so there was a lot of action there. Where they reenacted the scene from the Little Mermaid.
It was awkward, but like, I was surprised to see that Kevin Dentroen directed that one. But fun fact, he's actually part of the Whedon family, because his sister Marissa is married to
Jed.
Jed Whedon. So he's a Whedon in-law. He's a Whedon in-law.
It's like,
that's nice. Yeah. Put the flash on the boobies. Put the flash on the boobies. Make fun of Cyborg.
Have you guys seen that article from Joss Whedon? Man,
yeah, it's pretty.
I didn't. I heard it was cringe.
Oh man, he did not have a PR guy, a person
like
there.
He doubled down on a lot of.
He doubled down on a lot of stuff, and it was like
he doubled down.
Doubled down.
It's like, dude,
like J.K. Rowling doubled down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy
yeah.
Smokes.
Like he was talking about how like it was college where he learned like that he had this incredible power to manipulate women, and he had to be very careful about how he used it. And it's like, what are you even saying right now?
No. Like he called out Gal Gadot. She's like, she didn't think I was funny because I think there was a language barrier. It's like, what the fuck are you saying?
Man.
Like, dude,
he doubled down on Ray Fisher being a terrible actor, even though he's like people's favorite thing about the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Like it's cringe, man.
I think the one, it does.
You like
I didn't know it was cringe.
You like how I got from Kevin to that? That was pretty good.
That's a good
What
job.
I got a question though on Secret Invasion's, like kind of the next big arc that seems to be coming up in Marvel Universe.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys had to pick 3 Skrulls that have been introduced already that we don't know about, or as being Skrulls, obviously.
War Skrulls?
You mean 3 characters that are Skrulls?
Three characters that are Skrulls. Who do you think they would be?
My first thought, Spider-Man.
Oh man,
that would hurt everybody's brain so hard.
Die. No, that didn't be it. That would be the end of it.
But that's why I did it, because it's so good.
We finally get character growth. I'm all like, I'm done.
It's Spider-Man all along.
We're done.
Now, if it has to be people we've already met, I'm cool with one of them being Wasp.
Oh, okay.
Only because I think we know the very least about Wasp as a character. Like we don't know a lot about her. Like we just know that she has daddy issues, and that's like pretty much her entire identity, right? Like that's Nas. I can't tell. Like, do you disagree with that?
No, I just thought they're gonna make T'Challa a Skrull.
Ooh,
that would have been cool.
That's a
they
good
would
way
not
to do
dare.
that.
They would not dare.
They can't do that now.
They could.
I think
they're not
Valentine.
going
I don't think they will.
Oh, no.
Super tasteless if they did. Honestly,
That'd be amazingly.
Val
tasteless.
is definitely going to be a Skrull.
Val.
Yeah.
Okay. DeFontaine.
She's in a weird power position that I think a Skrull would want to be in.
Well, I think on that token, you could easily just make William Hurt's character a Skrull.
You could be a Skrull. Yeah.
Sure.
So,
then we can erase
General
General
Ross.
Erase his Me Too had canceled this. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Actually, anyone that's been Me Too'd in the Marvel universe, Hawkeye. Hawkeye's a Skrull now.
Nah, yeah, he's not a Skrull.
He's definitely out the door though.
But yeah, I think Val and General Ross are likely contenders, but in the comics, the big hurt is when it's Spider-Woman, right? Because it's been somebody who's been there on the Avengers the entire time.
Yeah. Founding member of the New Avengers.
Yeah, and so it needs to be somebody that will hurt.
Iron Man.
It's because he's dead.
No, War Machine.
It needs to be somebody that's there, like
War Machine.
Like it's there to be the queen or the king of the Skrull. You know what I mean? Like
I was thinking War Machine too for a while
because I don't know.
Yeah.
Can Skrulls take their powers or no?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. Well, they can mimic some powers.
They can mimic some powers.
They can't have like the strength of the Hulk, but they can.
That's
they
where
can
I think
strong.
the War Machine would be.
That's the deviant version of the Skrulls, though. Is the Super Skrulls. Like they're not the normal.
Because we don't know a ton about his backstory.
Who?
War Machine.
War Machine.
Yeah. In the MCU.
I think he's well positioned by Stark, and he's in the government, and he's an Avenger.
Yeah,
I think he's a good. But I mean, like, I don't know. He was crying at the end of Endgame, like when Tony died. Like that's some good acting for a Skrull. Then
I mean, Skrulls are supposed to be good actors, though.
Yeah, that's
not.
Never mind.
Nas, what do you think?
Sam Wilson.
That's awesome.
See, that would hurt.
That's a good one.
That would hurt so bad.
That would
make
be
a lot
brutal.
of racists
happy. Would that make his speech at the end of the show more or less impactful?
Well, I mean, in fairness, like they set the Skrull up to be a very endearing group of people. From like that was my favorite thing about Captain Marvel was the Skrull. Like those, like that, they flipped the script on the Skrull and they made them refugees, right? Like they made them really like
they make the Kree the aggressor,
the empathetic, characters, and so that would be cool. I think that would make that speech interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if they have the balls to do that.
They don't have the balls to do that.
I like that. I like that answer though, but that's ballsy.
I mean, that's the one that would probably hurt the most, and like you say, it would be the most ballsy because it would draw ire from multiple sides. That's kind of the same I was thinking about T'Challa because he's so beloved, and I think it would be just because of the real world situation, it would be tasteless to do that because it would be too easy to get rid of him. You know what I mean? But with Sam, because I mean, in Secret Invasion, from what I didn't read the books, but what I remember, they were stored. The real ones were stored elsewhere. So you're not really getting rid of Sam Wilson.
Right. Yeah.
But
he didn't get to do his arc. He didn't get to
you're mad-eye mooting him.
That's why I think it's Wasp, because she hasn't done an arc that matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's just bad writing.
Well, I mean, in fairness, like Spider-Woman was just there, right? She was just there all the time, but she didn't have like a meaty story leading up to that. She was just there from the very beginning of that comic, and then when it finally happened, you're like, whoa.
Well, she was well positioned too, like with Hydra and Shield.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But with the Skrulls being the way they are in the MCU, I don't think the Skrulls are going to be them, are they? Like,
from what I
don't know.
I think it's
it could be a faction.
Yeah, a faction of Skrulls.
Oh yeah,
like a Splinter Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's cool. I was thinking, damn, I just had it and I just lost it. Oh, Sharon Carter.
She's kind of scrolly.
Well, anything would redeem her after the last time we saw her.
That's what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking it would be like a kind of like an explanation to that, like how she just kind of changed.
Yeah, I guess I just took your question to be like, you know, like I was thinking of the impact of Spider-Woman, and that's the one I care most about. You know, like there was a lot of other reveals in that story, but like the Spider-Woman one was the big one because that was like, oh, you were on our team this whole time. You were on the Avengers.
Yeah.
And oh, how could we be so dumb? And it's like, oh, maybe it's a good thing that Daredevil wasn't there because he probably would have spotted you a mile away. Like,
they took those guys out of the picture.
Yeah,
pretty immediate. Actually, no, Wolverine didn't spot it.
That's true. But Elektra's, Spider-Woman's whole power is pheromones, and you know, if she's mimicking her powers, then she can throw him off, right?
That makes sense.
They could do Banner, which would kind of undo Smart Hulk because and why he was never like using full Hulk power. Well, no, but because he did use full Hulk power when he did the snap, just by surviving, right? But I don't know. Might be interesting. He could have been replaced afterwards.
Okoye.
I don't think Wasp or Okoye or any of the smaller characters will hurt much, but like,
right.
But I don't know.
It has to be a painful one.
Yeah, that's why I said Spider-Man.
It's hard to say. You know what they should do? They should bring back Tony Stark. Just pay that guy some money, and then he'll be like, "Psych, I was a scroll, bitch."
Dude, it's Doctor Strange. It's Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's one of the many variants.
And then I'm like, that explains it. That's why he was so dumb.
Yeah. He's all, I'm gonna do the spell, and he's all like, "Hey, I got a question, Doctor Strange." And he's like, "Oh, I messed up the spell. Shit."
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Doctor Strange.
Nas, you're dying, and I appreciate how long you've been here. But if you gotta go, we get it.
I'm about to go.
I enjoy it, but I am tired.
I asked my questions.
It's cool. Frank, do you want to go to a concert?
Yeah, let's go to Tones and I.
It's pretty cool. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, cool. I'll be there in a few minutes. I gotta use the restroom and stuff. But let's say goodbye to everybody.
You go to a concert?
Yeah, we're gonna go to a digital concert on Fortnite.
Oh,
it's like cool. It's like a 20-minute concert that you get to go and experience.
Do you want to come with us? Pound a monster and just come with us.
Yeah. Negatory.
Okay, cool.
All right,
fine. Later, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much for being here, and keep telling me all about your GI Joes whenever you get a chance.
I will.
All right.
Thanks.
Cool.
Snuff.
See ya.
Bye.